Well, hello there, Sugar Detox team. You guys are doing so amazing so far. I am so proud of you. Welcome to week 2. Good for you guys so far. There's no perfecting this. Good for you for even trying and for everything that you've learned so far because of the sacrifice that you're making. In this video, I want to address some of the questions that you guys have had in the last few days and also give you some tips with regards to transitioning this week and bringing in your favorite fruits. So, some of you last week and this week have been talking about cravings. So normal to be experiencing cravings. In fact, it would be abnormal if you were not. I'm actually surprised about how, you know, calm and steady most of this seems to have been for you guys. I expected there to be a lot of people experiencing symptoms of die off, which can happen if you have candida in your system. I thought there'd be some really crazy withdrawal headaches and things like that. And really, for the most part, you guys have been pretty smooth sailing. So I hope that's because of the way that I designed the program, and I hope it kind of has helped take the edge off based on the science behind what I was doing in terms of your breakfast and your lunch and structuring it the certain way that we did. Anyway, so with regards to those cravings that you've been having, I've mentioned it and I can't mention it enough and say it enough. The healthy fats are going to be so helpful in terms of keeping those cravings away. So people tend to skimp on the healthy fats because they're worried about the calories adding up. They're worried about gaining weight. But honestly, when you're trying to overcome sugar, you need to make sure that you're eating enough of those. So don't worry about the calories right now. The sugar is your biggest enemy when it comes to weight gain. So don't worry about the extra calories. Make sure that you're adding fats to each of your meals, especially if you're feeling constant hunger or constant craving. So add an extra tablespoon of coconut oil, at least until you get over the hump. Give yourself that assistance. So healthy fats, so important for those cravings. Some of you are nursing mothers at the current time, and the few things I want to say about that: if you're currently nursing, then you do need to make sure that you're eating enough calories. So if you're nursing and you're experiencing cravings during this program, you may not be eating enough overall. So again, increasing the fats will help to bring up your calories a bit. Maybe before you were eating a lot of fruit and a lot of grain, and now that we've taken those away, you could be eating a lot less overall. So make sure you add those fats to make up for the calories that you're not consuming from those other sources. In addition, nursing mothers and certainly pregnant mothers, and also certainly people who are really active, so athletes, for example, they need more carbohydrate overall in their diet. So make sure you're eating, at night, maybe a whole sweet potato or a yam. Make sure you're eating lots of raw carrots throughout the day, legumes. Make sure you're eating enough carbs. If you have any question about, what other carbs you can have, if that isn't clear, send me a message. But basically, you're looking at the beans, legumes, lentils, and the starchy carbs like the carrots and sweet potatoes and yams and beets, turnip, parsnips, all of those. And also now that we're in week 2, that can also mean bringing in some of those fruits again. But make sure, especially to the nursing mothers, enough calories overall and enough carbohydrates. Okay. And for everybody else in general, if you're experiencing the cravings, really up the healthy fats and see if that does the trick for you first, especially if you're not using any of the detox helpers. So the things like apple cider vinegar and a portion of fermented vegetables, those types of things will help when a craving strikes, as will the L-glutamine. But if you chose not to use any of those, the healthy fats is going to be the best way to really nip those cravings. Weight loss, some of you have lost some major weight already, and if that was a goal of yours, I'm so, so happy that this has happened for you. I didn't want to promise you that, but I kind of had a feeling. So amazing. Most of that weight was likely water weight because sugar causes our body to retain water. So a lot of it would have been water weight, but some of it would have been actual weight, actual fat. And now, as we continue with the program, the fat loss will probably slow a little bit, but that's because everything you lose now will be real fat loss as opposed to the water. So, yeah, keep me posted with what happens. I'm sure you'll drop a couple more by the time that we're through here. With regards to constipation, one of you made a comment on the Facebook page that you were experiencing constipation now that you aren't eating the grains and the fruits. That makes sense because grains and fruits are super fibrous, and they're also high or rich in a very specific type of fiber that essentially bulks up your stool, and therefore that's what triggers the elimination is things build up and then they move out. So if you're just eating spinach and celery and cucumbers, you may not go as often because it's going to take more time, more days or whatever for that bulk to get there. I experienced that in the past myself, and I had to kind of troubleshoot and figure it out. So for me and for many of my clients, what I found helped in this kind of regard is adding another source of bulking fiber. So an easy thing you can do is to each of your meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, add a whole tablespoon or maybe even two of ground flax. That'll offer your stool the same kind of bulk as the grains. Make sure if you're doing this, however, that you increase your water intake between meals because otherwise you could end up like a little bit bloated or constipated for a different reason. So you need to make sure that when you increase fiber, you also increase water. But hopefully that ground flax will do the trick for you. Also this week you could add in, a serving of berries and or half a green apple or a grapefruit, and that could also help things along again a little bit better. So with regards to introducing or reintroducing fruit, I want to encourage you to go slowly, but start to bring in your fruit a little bit. When you do, just be aware of basically any changes in terms of your hunger levels, in terms of your cravings. When you taste that sweetness, does it make you want more? Just kind of become a little bit more aware now that you have this clean slate. So basically you've gone without, you've cleaned the slate, you've got a sense of what it feels like not to have this thing in your body and to have maybe the energy going all up and down. Now you should be able to notice, or make that direct correlation between, okay, I'm going to have this, what's different? Maybe nothing will be, and that's awesome. You'll basically start to find your tolerance level. So maybe your body can tolerate 2 pieces of fruit a day, 3 pieces of fruit a day. I know I seem to do best with just 1 max, but you can start to feel that out for yourself. I encourage you for the first 3 days, so that would have been Monday, today, and tomorrow. I encourage you for these first 3 days to avoid fruit in the first meal of the day, because a lot of times fruit early will set people up if they are sensitive to fruit cravings the whole day long. So just to be safe for the first 3 days, have your fruit as an afternoon snack or with lunch or dinner. At the end of this week, you can experiment having it in the morning, and again, just kind of sense or get a gauge for what happens. And when you do these reintroductions, let me know what happens, and I can give you some advice on how to proceed from there. We'll do the same thing next week with the grains. So I hope that that's helpful to you guys. Please let me know what you need. That's why I'm here, to help you and to help you navigate this so that you can come out of this feeling amazing and successful. So let me know what you need. I'll do another video soon. And in the meantime, just keep posting stuff on Facebook and I will keep responding accordingly. Awesome job so far, you guys. I'm super proud of you. You're all amazing. Talk to you really soon. Okay, happy week 2.